I want to do a quick video about this gas tube. Kind of wish I did it before I put it in, but I was so impressed I wanted to talk about it. I've used a few different gas tubes. I've used Colt, BCM, no name brand. I've used Arrow, some other brands I can't recall, Spikes. Some of them went in kind of perfectly. I think that's only happened on free floated builds where I didn't have to bend it, because I do like it just so I like to float in the hole. I like the gas key to fit right over it. This particular one, I think this nut is kind of out of spec, and it really bound up the BCM gas tube, which the BCM and the Colt, they're really chewed up, right? They look all galled up. And I mean, just everywhere, not just in the relief, but the whole length. And this one almost looks like maybe it's tumbled. I don't really know. It's smooth all over. It's really, really pleasant looking and feeling. And anyway, so with this nut, it really bound the tube from BCM, and kind of hard engagement with the gas key. There was no, it just didn't have any movement, you know? So then I put in the nitrided one, which looked really terrible through the vents on top handguard. And so I put in that nitrided one for a while, and that actually flowed a little better than this because the relief was a little smaller. And then I got this from the Daniel Defense website. It's $12, free shipping. Great looking tube. It does come with a stainless tube, which I wouldn't use. I like them black. But it popped right into place, and it doesn't float as much as that nitrided one, but it does have enough play. I mean, it's almost imperceptible, but it's enough that the gas key was able to slide over it, right? So it still works with the shitty nut. And it really fit perfectly. And it's funny because at first it was binding a little bit, sliding out, and I found that it was actually just the dirt on the carrier and in the receiver. So once I put a little oil on a patch and just wiped down the rails and the corresponding area of the receiver, it was able to slide right out. I mean, not as freely as without the tube, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think the tube is fucking great. And I've actually had tubes from Arrow that just had the bend in the wrong place, where the lower and upper part aren't even parallel. So the nicest looking stainless tube I've seen, and it popped right into place, whereas that Spikes, I had to bend it to get it where I wanted it. So this thing popped it right in. It's perfectly centered on where I had the nut centered to that hole, and kind of equidistant from the sides on the receiver hole. In the first part of the video, I actually went back and I couldn't really get at the tube with a micrometer because it's already installed, but I measured it with a caliper, and I came up with 168 on the Spikes tube and 170 on the Daniel Defense. The tolerance here is from 166 to 174. So you're right in the middle with the Daniel Defense tube. But what's interesting is that the hole tolerance is 182 plus 3 minus nothing. So really the clearance on the diameter, right, per both sides between the tube and the receiver can be as small as 0.002 and as big as 11, I guess, 13 thousandths, which is not a mile by any stretch, but I mean at 2,000ths, it's not really going to move. Not with that whole tube behind it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, 2,000ths is a big clearance on a hole, but unless it's like perfectly in line with the gas key. So this whole idea that the tube should float, maybe it's a little bit far-fetched.